Hello and welcome to the most enjoyable Counter-Strike broadcast on the planet.
Damn
It's
straight.
ECS Season 6 coming to you live and direct from Santa Monica, California. We've got one hell of a show for you today, as you can see. It's beautiful here. It's a lovely day outside. My name is Henry G, and we've got some beautiful men with me as well. To be James Bardoff and DDK. Gentlemen, you having a good morning? Any Counter-Strike this morning?
Yeah, I played one game and...
Straight in.
Of course. Do you know what I realized yesterday? I looked at my statistics on FACEIT, right?
Okay.
And I commentate 8 games a day, and then I play 5 games a day.
Sure.
So I'm going to be just like, I need to go to the gym. But I lost a game. We played a game of Overpass, and went on CT side. They went wherever I wasn't, and we just lost that part of the map every round. This was difficult. It's annoying, but such is life. Tried to queue for another game, didn't quite work out. Played deathmatch instead.
Nice. Dan, you got any anecdotes for me or nothing?
Nothing is as exciting as,
nothing at all.
that, really.
All right, well, maybe you can introduce the social media aspects of the show and let people know how they can get involved.
Well, check us out on Twitter at ECS or use the hashtag ECSS6 to get involved in the discussion. We have loads of Counter-Strike coming your way, so please send us tweets. And of course, if you want to find out any more information about the league, whether that concerns results, past results, where the leaderboard is at in its current format.
Got there in the end.
I'm struggling. It's like a
Standings, Dan. Standings.
The standings, where they're at. If you're interested in that, you can go to cscolleague.com. There's also a lot of other juicy information there for you.
Is it a league? It's lots of Counter-Strike. Where does it lead to?
Leads to Arlington, Texas, the Lone Star State. I don't know what that really means, but there's a lot of beef there. I'm going to get down there and eat some beef, that's for sure. Maybe see some cowboys or something. I don't know what else there is in Texas apart from beef.
Lots of shooting ranges. That's what I did when I was there.
The most American
state. Of course. How can I forget?
Yeah.
I drove a tank last time we were there.
There you go. We can definitely do some of that when we're there. Also, if you want to get involved with the FACEIT points, I know you all love it, hit the Get Loot button and hook up your FACEIT account to the YouTubes. It will mean you're eligible for all the drops that will be happening throughout the show. We've given over 1 million points so far. Sometimes we give away 250k at a time, so make sure you hit the big orange button to get involved. Now, that's all the admin out of the way. We can calm down. We've got some good games coming up. We'll have a look at the teams first and see what's going on.
Let's have a look at the table. No, we said already, we're not going to use this anymore. Come on.
We need to have this meeting beforehand.
Leaderboards.
Are you calling it up now, or do you want to keep going as we are?
Yeah,
no, we can still do it.
Exactly.
We're cool.
Look, it's the same thing. But
all right,
with
this is actually better. We can see all the teams and all the information. You can see Mouse Sports at the very tippity top there with 5 wins, 1 loss. We do have some teams yet to play. Just to note, G2 are 0-6, boys. Did you see the tweet that Ocelot sent out today?
No.
He said, straight up tweet, unprovoked, he just said, I can't express how disappointed I am in the CSGO team so far.
Again?
Yeah.
After the previous one, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
But they released all their options.
I know.
They've got options now.
But I just thought it was fascinating. I think it was last night that happened. We've got them playing today as well. We can have a look at the schedule and see what's going on. So Virtus Pro versus G2, that just jumps out the page for me. That's the 2 teams that you expect a lot of, but we're not going to get anything from. We'll get to that later. NIP versus North, though. I think that's going to be an excellent game. That's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
I've got to say, I'm enjoying watching Cadian and his teams. I'm enjoying that.
Sure.
Ninjas in Pajamas. I think they should be top 3. I think like they're in a really good spot right now.
Yeah.
If they can avoid the narrow losses, then I think they should be a lock for LAN for sure.
I think that's fair enough. I think that
I even enabled my Silence M4. It's like I want to be like Forest, man.
I think NIP are definitely on an upward trajectory right now. I feel like they're having a resurrection of sorts. I think Electro's doing a fantastic job for them. He is the newly appointed in-game leader. You'd think, as the new signing, the youngest player in the squad, or one of the youngest, I think Braze is slightly younger, you know what I mean? He wouldn't necessarily be in the lock-in for the in-game leader, never done it before. But instead of Forest, instead of Get Right, who have got experience in that role, they gave it to Electro. And he's actually top fragging still while being the in-game leader, and the team seems to be getting better.
I think a fresh pair of eyes is good in that respect. I think especially for the story teams who've had a long period of struggle as NIP have, I think just to be outside the box, even if it means less experience and a mistake here or there, I think it's just good to have new ideas rather than just falling into the same old patterns.
Now, Dan, Dennis used to be the in-game leader for this squad, and his fragging dropped off dramatically. He used to be a superstar player, now just looking like a decent pro, not a shadow of himself. And even now, he's not in-game leading. He still hasn't recovered. Are you a fan of Dennis? Do you like what he brings to the table?
Yeah, I think Dennis is an interesting one. I think you have to always give benefit of the doubt to players who you know, like Dennis, has a great skill ceiling and is maybe having some trouble finding consistency when roles are sort of switched around. And again, as mentioned, a new sort of system at play. So I'm hoping that he's able to, with some extra time, just adapt out of it. I think there are players that are very sort of like their skill, their performances are very strictly defined by their roles, and they're not very they can't adapt very well. But there are some that can adapt very, very well. We've seen it. Chris J is a great example to bring up right now because his level keeps getting higher and higher. If you would have said a couple of years ago that Chris J, as an in-game leader or a rifler, you would have been just like calling that person mental. So.
It's a bit weird with Chris J, though. You look at mouse sports, they've just been knocked out of Star Ladder after winning their previous event. It seems like they're very up and down right now, still finding themselves to get that consistency. Speaking of roles within NIP, they obviously removed Draken to bring in Lekro. That means they don't necessarily have a full-time AWP anymore. They're in a state of flux, I would say.
It looks like they're in liquid territory.
Yeah, sure. Do we feel like they've got the same level, though, with Forrest who can pick it up, Dennis that can pick it up, Lekro does as well? It just feels like everyone has a go with it, but no one's really a specialist in the squad.
Yeah, I think we mostly see it from Forrest, but Dennis, I think, when I think of Dennis, I think of Olofmeister, and I think he's more towards that level. We don't see it as much from Dennis as we might from Olofmeister, but I think that he is a very capable sniper, although I really feel like with NIP, if someone's going to pick it up, it's almost always going to be Forrest, but maybe that's going to change with Lekro as well. They have some potential dynamism there, but I don't know if they're going to go into that particular cupboard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with Cadian coming up against them, I think we're going to see a lot of sniping, so they're going to have an answer to that.
A good point. Cadian's looking like he's got career best form, I think we said, Dan.
Absolutely. It's been really interesting to see that sort of the exiled son of Denmark on the return, and his form has looked really, really good. It's only actually, I think, in the last ECS match that we saw them when they played against Astralis, where I was like, okay, he's not looking on point there, but, against Astralis, it's difficult to really have that ask of him anyway. So, but generally outside of that context, his individual performance has been great, and obviously what he brings as a leader was working very well with Rogue, and he's pretty proven there. So let's see what he can do against NIP.
Just to know, North will be playing from Ukraine right now, so they'll be on land, they'll be in boot camp mode. Nice. So we're off, and it will be Dennis to open things up, considered one of the best USP players. He'll take down Cadian. It is the attack from Gade, and he'll be pushing all the way towards the vents.
That is a very strong position. Get right, moonwalks into Kiabi's crosshairs, unfortunately for him. Then they're still holding down a CT position. Always a god with the pistols. Can they get the kills? Very patient play from him. And AZ has planted a bomb. He's in the red, though. I think he's been spotted towards the bricks. Can the CTs get position? Gage may try to stop that. It's a big frag from AZ. Kiabi now moving into the mid position. So these two CTs are surrounded. They don't have a kit. Not sure if the other players did. It's coming down to the Jules Forest now. 1 versus 2, 1 versus 1. Knows where the last player was. Heard him drop, but Gade will drop the last player. And that's the pistol round for North.
There we go, back and forth. It's Gade, though, the young gun in his rookie season as a pro. He'll be finding 3 kills and barreling towards the jungle position. This was fantastic by him. AZ managing to open up a frag there as well. Lovely stuff. But Gade, certainly the MVP of the round, manages to close things out against Forest. That's no easy feat. And there will be a full force buy from NIP. Notice no one's saving for an AWP. As we mentioned, they don't really have a full-time AWP. They'll pick it up as and when, but it's not something they have to force to bring out. So we'll see how this goes. Dennis firing off shots through the smoke, nothing connecting. 3 rifles for North here. I would say North, from what I've seen so far, and the form they've showed recently at Star Ladder, I'd say they are the favourites going into this one. But we will see as they find all the shots. It's Gade once again who opens it up, and he'll be getting 2 frags. That's going to be confirming the round. That force buy did nothing for NIP.
Yeah, for me, the prediction does fall North's way on a Mirage when they start T-side, and they've already won the pistol, and looks like they've defended well against the force buy. And I like the decisiveness behind the strategy. Mirage is one of those maps where you can play really fast into a bomb site and do so in a way where you sort of spread your risk a bit. But you can have that split going through B short and also on the apartments as well, and that's like a really nice way to just get straight into the bomb site. The grenades are super effective. It's very hard for the CTs to respond, and as soon as that bomb goes down, it's just a wrap.
It can be a risk going quickly into B. It's a very common strategy these days to stack the B bomb site and just hope they make a mistake by going fast into that site. But either way, 2-0 North, no problems whatsoever. And it will be NIP saving CZ and a 5-7. That's in the hands of Get Right. Didn't get a chance to talk about him. He's been showing some promising form as of late. Been in a slump for about 1.5 years, and looking like he might be out of it at this point. We'll see whether he can develop into this series. But here we go. North 2 rounds on the board. Should be a third here unless something disastrous happens with the CZ and 5-7 combo.
I'd say that Danish teams as well on T-side and Mirage are actually the best teams at going for those B splits. They always have a very good execution, especially around mid control in general as well. And so that makes them very scary to play against. There should be an easy cleanup. The split onto the A site should deal with all of these players who are sort of stacked on this A site in various positions. The wrap is always a good approach. Gate is also looking very sharp in the first couple rounds that we've seen.
Yes. Yeah, pistol, second round, and now the third. Good stuff by Dennis. He'll be taken down, but pretty much as good as he's going to get in that position. Gets 1 frag of the USP. And Necro might get this frag, not quite. And will be Valda, another star player of North, who confirms a 3-0. Now they've got MP5 Khalils. Most teams, as we discussed, knowing that NIP force one to the second round, will do something very quick here. Normally execution-based and just try and overwhelm, punish the fact they might not have incendiaries at this stage on the CT side. It costs $600. So yes, indeed, go towards A, go for either a contact play, no one towards Palace, but I'd assume set piece with the smokes, get in there, bomb down, and try and take advantage of the fact they might not even have kits here, which they don't.
Oh, that's awkward. 1 decision, 2 decisions, can't fire the gun. Game of seconds. Now we see the old smokes, if you will. Seeing some teams put smoke deeper into the stairs, and CT's trying to look over the smoke, get shot in the face. 2 versus 5, 4. NIP, do they go for this? I suppose the money will be together if they do. These 2 players don't have a kit, though, on either of them.
Yes.
Lecro will choose to fall back. I like his glasses, Lecro.
Another reason as well why, on top of the reasons that Henry mentioned as to why the A set piece is really strong is also because if you just play around where you can try to guarantee a bomb plant, you're probably going to do some damage even if you lose the round. But in getting that bomb plant, obviously with the money that you save by not rebuying a lot of the weapons, you sort of guarantee that you're just going to have loads of money just anyway.
Yeah, well look at them go. 11k even after losing those 2 players towards the end. Forest will survive with Lecro, but it was unfortunate for Get Right there. Maybe overthought the situation, tried to pull out grenades, tried to reposition, got caught out, and as soon as he goes down for nothing, that was round over. Execution was so brutal with the 2 smokes and then the Molotov on the steps as well. Retake was very difficult with lack of utility, and like James mentioned, no kits, so no force buy here, but Forest is going to try and get the first kill, which he'll do successfully.
Create some space for the smoke grenade as well. There is a consistent smoke people will throw there, but enough about that later. The pistols trying to put in work. Gate spots a player in the window, and the window has been shut twice over with the smoke there as well. Yeah, look at a player like Mihu playing the short position. He has a consistent setup for that smoke. Allows him to jump up, look over it, look under at the underpass as well. Really handy to know if you are a short B player. North now have a procession towards the B bomb site. All the players together. Cadian catching up with the side. They've got 4 Molotovs. Now, you can have off angles towards the bench. You can have CTs under the window, towards the van as well. There's 3 main places to check. You can see a quick look from North. First player out looks underneath, then he looks over towards that bench position, and he'll keep an eye on short as well. Ninjas in pajamas will save what they have with these 2 rifles. Kiabi was dropped somewhere, so maybe there's something for Res to pick up.
We'll have a look. It's going to be a confirmed round.
So far, I mean, we're only 5 rounds in, but
I have to say,
2 players have kills on NIP.
What's really cool is that we can see on the minimap where Kiabi was picked with the X.
Yeah,
That's so good to see where the CTs are likely to go. And Cadian may have a read of that himself. Yeah. Obviously, in a round like that, you want to say, where did you drop the weapon? So you have an idea of where they might try to pick one up.
Yeah, that's really cool. Very useful for us. And we also get to see the Molotovs and incendiaries in that minimap too.
Yeah.
So that's so exactly what we need in the game, but we'll have to do it via third party. Perfect, Dave. Really enjoy it.
We still can't draw on the map.
That's true.
It's so, like, especially when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing with people who don't know what they're doing. There's so much that I can like draw on a map when I'm dead to explain to people who are watching.
Yeah.
And I can't draw on a map. It's so frustrating. I cannot stress Valve how, I'm going to email Valve right now.
Yeah. bring it out.
I'm literally emailing the Valve.
That would be really cool. If you're like in a 5-stack, and you can just say when you're all dead, or take a timeout, you can just say, right, we're going to do this. You're going to play here. I'm going to play here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And just add that extra element of strategy. You can just mark on the map, even if it's a CT side, is mark, oh, I'm going to play here in the warm-up or the 2 minutes before the game.
You mean so it actually stays on the mini map?
Draw to your team.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what we thought you meant.
No, just drawing on the map in general. Can't even draw on the map
we've got to
yourself.
talk to mark to your teams. You can explain a strat to them.
And then you could have like it actually in permanence just on the radar when it goes live, so you know who's like going where and where. So the attacks are going to be and stuff. That's pretty cool. We're getting back to the round for a moment. We can present that point in a bit. We have the mid take coming in from North. We can see that they lost a man in mid, but that's always okay if you can convert it into map control, which they've done, and they've managed to trade out despite losing the majority of health on Kirby. Electro in a good position at the end of the apartments, slowing things down, being a nuisance, getting an additional pick off. Oh, he's done so much work. 2 players left, 1 is crippled. It's going to be very, very difficult for North, surely, to close this one down.
Still looking like they might be competitive in the round, Dan. 2 versus 2. That Molotov won't slow them down too much. Won't be able to go for the instant plant, of course, but the CTs have committed out the window. That's going to be a bold move. They have got the smoke. Cadian anticipating it, though. He holds up. Dennis right on the corner. Who will come out on top here? 1 shot fired, and Dennis has a huge advantage here, but Cadian will take him down. 1 versus 1. 5 seconds remaining. Goes for the plant, and he gets it. Res now. 1 versus 1 gets it. That was incredibly well played by North to even bring it to a winnable situation. The fact they've punished so hard that the first round NIP win, just 1 player survives. That's going to be incredibly difficult to recover from. Terrorists get the bomb down. They've got plenty of money now. So NIP, good job, especially from Lekro to stay alive as long as he did in the apartments, but reset potential aplenty. After they get all the grenades out, everyone should be pretty much fully invested. Just Rez, I'd imagine. Or Forrest, who got dropped the weapon, who has cash. Dennis will be using the AWP.
Made out some aggression into the underpass from Rez. And another fast play into the A site. Get right defends against Gate. And the rotation will surely start to come in as the nades start to rain through. We've got the Molotovs there on pretty much everything. Stairs, or rather the connector, sorry, and jungle and CT spawn. Smoke's going down now as North are looking to get the plants in action. But the bomb is still stuck in Palace, it seems. 3 CTs waiting in a queue at CT spawn for the ticket booth to get into the A site.
Has AZ snuck in connector? Has he got there? He has. Super smart play by him. They won't necessarily anticipate this as they rotate back through. He goes a little bit further though, still nails the shot. Player towards short, needs to be careful. Forrest surely gets this one, which he does. Electro and Forrest in the retake. Remember, lose this round, they are double eco, guaranteed. Smoke on top of the bomb. This might yield some sort of success. They're not going for the defuse just yet though. Forrest with the Molotov towards the Palace area. Defuse about to take place. It's a 10-second defuse though. Probably not going to work out. Oh my goodness. Valda will deny. I thought there was a chance they were going to spray around him for a second. 6-1 and everyone goes down for an IP.
So pretty cool, like pretty nice calling so far from North. It's been a very fast-paced game. We've seen fast mid control. We've seen fast A set pieces. Just generally just fast rounds, and it's been working out pretty well. And it's fun to watch. I'll take this moment though to add another idea to the mix with the mini-map.
Get right.
Hate to see that. So imagine, for like matchmaking and stuff, imagine if with a mini-map thing, like in Dota 2, they have this thing where you can have build orders, sort of just suggested build orders.
Yeah,
imagine if you had like suggested CT setups or suggested calls where it would show you where to stand. Like you would say, I'm an A player, and then it gives you some spots each round where you can stand. It just shows you on the minimap where to stand.
Well, like a general guide for a team to say, like, you need to have 2 players in the B-bomb site, maybe 1 holding Arch, that says Inferno, 1 in the pit, 1 in the site, and you can just say, like, you can just select at the beginning of the round.
Exactly.
Or
Like
the heart and warm-up, you just say, right, I'll play here.
Like you have assigned like an IGL, and he can select like 4 or 5 configurations, and obviously, I mean, it's not the end of the world if someone trolls and just doesn't do it, because that's just matchmaking anyway. But but that'd be kind of cool for people that do want to learn, just to give them some more of an idea of like.
I think the next step is getting 5-on-5 matchmaking built into the client. So you can actually encourage team play and stuff like that. I don't know why Valve just seem to completely ignore.
Have you tried FACEIT, Henry?
I have tried FACEIT.
FACEIT.com.
I know. This is more general.
Sign up now, it's free.
I know. I use it every day. It's brilliant.
Thanks,
but,
Henry. Glad you're a team player.
I'm just saying. I'm talking in generals here. I'm just saying Valve could do a lot more.
Have you tried FACEIT, Henry?
No, tell me more.
FACEIT.com.
What's it about?
Competitive matchmaking. Challenge your game, Henry. Challenge your game. I'm still writing this email.
Still going. Kiabi, he's getting stuck in. This kill pretty much decides the round. If Rez went down, that was going to be GG for round number 9, but he pulled it back. Yeah, right, not so much. Cadian's looking sharp as well with the AWP. They'll rotate in. They're taking a massive risk here. As North could just fall back, they've pulled pretty much everyone over, and Lecro's pushing the B apartments, only got the SMG. That is a one and done position if multiple players come through. 50 seconds remain. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Is that just a full-on fake towards B? Just throwing a flash in and falling back? I'm not sure. Well, either way, man advantage. 4 players in middle. Looks like they're going to go through connect and just play contact. Have that trade potential, considering they have the number advantage here. Just going straight through, Dan. No stealth here. And oh my god, Forest completely blind and taken down. This is just beautiful from North. Just playing very simple, team-based gameplay.
Yeah, just like good timing, good coordination, just good spacing.
They know they've got the advantage in terms of numbers. If we stick together, use the basic flashes and smokes, we've got the aim right now. Let's just take them out, one by one.
And it's that's something that's very easy to do. Let's say if you're just running in from like one choke point, let's say. But if you're playing a more advanced game like we're seeing North, where it's like, okay, just this, how do we take that a little bit further? Well, you take some map control, so you take away middle from the CTs, you set up a couple extra positions, you have like a triple prone attack, and now it starts to get a bit more complicated as to how to time that perfectly. But that's where the beauty is, like nailing those basics, something that's a little in a more advanced fashion. I have another way to, even in the idea that we had previous about like having sort of build orders or like setups and stuff that you could call. So what if you had a game type where you could have a coach who has all those things that he can do? So you could get a guy that's dedicated to making calls and a guy that's dedicated to like being able to draw, and a guy that's dedicated to being able to like select setups and stuff. That'd be actually pretty cool, I think. Sure.
Whether anyone wants to do that?
Dedicated to drawing. Who's going to pay for that?
Well, you know, it's like coaching. It's like a coaching. It's like a fun feature, like a coach mode. Should be quite cool. Another really fast round. They made it. So this round is cool because it's an anti-eco, and North made it look like it was going to be their B-split anti-eco, but in actuality, instead of having the 3 players apartments, they split them in through connector into mid, whilst it still looked the same towards B. So that's quite a nice variation. And it's very fast paced, so how do you read it? I don't think you have time to.
Ooh.
I like that a lot from North.
I see what you mean, Dan, with that idea. You could have like a separate queue where you queue as a coach, and it's like a different ranking system, and it's a different idea altogether. You're just coaching this one team, and you can rank up your team wins because of your strategies and the way you help them out. Then you get points, like Overwatch in that sense, in terms of like when you watch the demos of the cheater, you're coaching a team and you can rank up and.
Yeah,
that,
I think if you have some cool features in there, I think it could be really engaging for people.
Like you just do, if you don't, you haven't got your proper gaming PC with you to play a proper game, so you can play on a laptop and just coach someone.
Yeah,
that could be something.
Create some funny content as well if you get like pros into like some like silver games or something like that. Anyway, another fast round from North. They don't seem to let up on the pace. They like the high octane action, and they'll bring it back into the B-bomb site, and it's just they just get all the kills.
Well, Forest is normally pretty good at picking up the pieces in these sort of situations. He will at least bring the round back in their favor a little bit, but Get Right certainly won't. 4-on-2 now. Rez chimes in and actually denies the plant, so this could get a little bit more interesting. Forest, good position, but Cadian better shot. And that went straight through him.
Yeah, that looked on, didn't it? Was that on? That was on. That had to be on.
10-1, Dan. It's getting gruesome out there.
It is. Just such a great T-side from North, I think, to be expected, but it's brutal, man. It's very, very tough. Just this is one of the reasons why I like Mirage is because there's like so many awesome calls you can make. There's so much you can do with map control. It's just a very dynamic map. You can play it fast-paced as well. Oh, some Deagle kills there for fun. But I don't think they can collect any of the guns. Maybe now they can. Might be worth a risk charging up mid for those guns. Indeed, they're all going for the AKs. AK each.
Collection service.
Yeah.
Well then, 3 versus 2. AWP as well on Dennis. I've written 4 paragraphs. I'll try to summarize them quickly, but let's see how this works out. 5 players lost in a mid position. 5 players remain. The CTs continue to charge. AZ has shown his position. How can Valde play off of him? Valde is miles away. He's in the market position now, and now we've got 3 versus 1. Surely somebody gets on the bomb. They know where Valde is. He's dropping. Oh, Dennis has a smoke grenade. He can stop this. Dennis, where are you? Oh no! It's too late now. Time to run away. Get right, might not survive. That is unfortunate. Valde with the master play.
Molotov from hell.
Since Panorama was released, we have lost the ability to draw on a map for tournament. Oh, I've got a typo here. And solo streamers are like, this really compromises how we can communicate to viewers. For me, it is critically important to have this. Blah, blah, blah. I've written 4 paragraphs. I shall correct this, and then I shall send it to Valve.
Who are Valve?
Who are Valve? The developers of Counter-Strike.
Nice.
Yes. Let's get it done, boys.
So when Panorama came out, they just removed that feature altogether, did they?
I don't know that they removed it, but they didn't add it. It's not there, for whatever reason.
Different round here from North. 2 players in apartments and playing passive on mid. It's Caden with an angle with the AWP watching for a mid push. Sensing that NIP might want to get a bit more aggressive, but they have double ops themselves, so that makes it perhaps slightly more unlikely. And this is the first time, or it feels as though one of the first times we've seen North with a very slow pace and a very slow default. Still just holding positions. They haven't moved a muscle in about 45 seconds. Now we start to see the bomb going towards A. So we'll see the players in underpass pushing towards connector for a delayed A splits set piece. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. I think NIP have a good shout at this round.
I hope so. It's 5 on 5. They're going for a double up setup now. Molotov's deployed. North is looking a little bit too good as Necro gets wrecked in the connector. Valde just punishing everyone. Double orbs now against the presumably execute is coming through. It'll be difficult to hold it. Reds on to every single shot. Get right, anything but. And now it's a 4 versus 1. Dan, you said they had a good shout at this one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, the openings from around connector, I wasn't expecting such a strong, in a couple entry frags. We saw the players on short just like peeking in a kind of an unfavorable angle. It's like peering over the edge straight down, and they got blasted as well. Geralt only has 1 kill. He's been struggling, and he's been on the A bomb site anchoring, you know.
Yeah, I can remember the kill he got as well. It was in CT spawn on the first gun round. He got a kill in the palace area. That's it.
And it's not like he's, you know, playing B and they don't go B. He's been A and they've been going A all the time. So not having a great game of it so far. But that said, you wonder if some of the, we haven't really seen any 2-man pit setups from NIP. You know, some more of the aggressive playstyles that can be pretty effective when teams go for these set pieces on A. There they go again.
Dennis still towards Shadow, but surely going to be traded out here. He will at least get a dink in and set Rez up, but it looks like another bloodbath here. Forest is in towards CT. Wild spray towards Tetris will yield a frag. Ooh. Low HP on both of these players. Surely this is the one. Necro confirms it, but Gade's still alive here. There we go. Second round on the board.
Very nice, very nice. And you would have perhaps expected to see more similar rounds to that, because the A rushes, even with the nades, they are quite chaotic and hard to predict. But it does seem as though NIP have lost a bit too many of those kinds of rounds, more than you'd expect. Either way, fast round again from North. Back at it, into the B-bomb site. Everyone's just running in, AWP included. Let's go.
Necro to defend. It is the B rush, and he'll get 2. Good for any more. A little bit of damage there. Disappointing there's no Molotov from North in that position, but still they're going to get plant down here. IP seem ready for the round. Dennis tagged up, but Rez find one more.
Out the window, one of the CTs, Cadian, watching the short position. Will he find the right time? Will he turn? That's a nice flick from him, but he's got 2 more to find. And there will be a 3rd round for Ninjas in Pajamas. So that's the end of the half. Do we think that was good by North or bad by NIP?
Very good by North.
Yeah.
Good calls, amazing individual skill. You can see Cadian and Gade getting it done. The AWP was a massive problem for NIP. They didn't really seem to have the response for it. They went for the double orbs. They weren't connecting. As soon as they brought the orbs out, the executions came through. It was just, for me, just the individual one-on-ones. That's where it really went wrong for NIP. They couldn't seem to win out against the AKs.
Yeah, you think that maybe like there could have been some better CT setups, and also, you know, tactically maybe a little bit sharper as well to sort of mitigate the strength of North's pushes and North's utility. So I think overall I agree, North just played it lights out there. And I think it goes to show too that NIP do lean on their individuals' skill a bit more than their strategy or their team tactics and so on. So let's see if NIP can recover into the Glock rounds. Rez taking one for the team, getting the utility. Ready to set up the Swedes for success. Ninjas in Pajim Jams.
Well, we know the way this goes, the 12-3 scoreline. Oh, Dennis will open things up. And the long road begins for NIP.
All over the A site, but Cadian's coming in from the back. The bomb's being planted for him. He's about to see it. Can he stop it? Nope. The bomb is down. Doing nice work, though. Lots of headshots here for the CT side. Gade carrying a smoke and a defuse kit. Get right now. It's his turn to be in the pit. Gade looking for these players. He can draw them out with the smoke grenade. Now we see one player on connector. Dennis, can he be dealt with by the likes of Valde? No. Shut down. Gade. Nice play from him, but he will be exposed to both sides. And that will be the much-needed pistol round for Ninjas in Pajamas. The road starts here.
Indeed. Shot from Dennis to open things up. Cadian, maybe if he denied the bomb, they'd probably win the round there, but didn't quite spot it in time. And Dennis to close things out with Get Right. There we go. Next towards middle. And it's a stack with 4 players looking to get aggressive at the A ramp. They'll flash over once and push towards T spawn. You can see Get Right though, he's in spawn waiting for it, so they shouldn't have any issues there. There he is. They'll not go any further and fall back.
That's got to be the worst feeling. When you push through Palace or ramp, you're like, oh god, guys, I've got so much information right now. This is awesome. You go T spawn, you get shot in the face by someone who's like, nope. You don't got nothing. Get Right will be that man. In fact, there's 2 of them there. Nobody in T apartments. Or, well, apps for the time being. There's the smoke off to take the connector area away. So now we can engage in a simple split of the A bomb site. No need to overcomplicate things from here. Got to be careful though around those corners. No one in Palace just yet for Ninjas in Pajamas. Palace does give you at least half of the angles. Towards that connector area. Slow peek from Get Right will not work out. The CZ doing damage, and that's what I'm talking about.
Oh!
The connector area has been shut down by Kiabi just when you thought it was safe to win an anti-force buy.
Wow, the Fatia's chance to reset, get the AK out, and still win the duel. That's
and he didn't
pretty
take
wild.
any damage.
I know.
How's that happened?
Oh, they should have probably just planted there. They might have got a chance to do it again. As soon as he touches this, Valde will be coming around the corner. Damage inflicted. They could recover this though. This kill is really important. 2 versus 2 now. Yabi and Gade with an AK and a UMP. Bomb will not be planted just yet. It's up to Forest. Very capable in the clutch situations though. Oh my god.
Kiabi, man.
Savage.
You didn't get touched in this round. I don't understand.
For 4 kills.
How does... But look at this.
Yeah, even if you have a player in Palace, where he's standing is actually covered from Palace. Used to see Mr. Jordan Nothing Gilbert stand there a lot as well. And then it just got nasty afterwards. Just got nasty, man.
That really tells you everything you need to know about this matchup so far. I think it's that NIP are not going to be allowed back in.
Well, they can still do it. The Tech 9's out again. Seeing him creeping more and more. Damage inflicted. loads of it to the terrorists, but Kiabi desperately trying to get a kill here. He can't do it. How much damage did he do there?
Yeah, awkward with the silence turn 4. When you hope for those extra bullets. Maybe take an SMG from a friend next time. Get right, pulling a Tech 9 back out. Again, it's still an old patch, but I guess they're playing the new one in FPL. So the equipment is there anyway, equipped. Now the CTs have control of the bomb, 3 versus 2. No weapons picked up by Ninjas in Pyjamas. Get right will try to find himself in a flanking position. However, Cadian is expectant. He is behind the plant pots, behind the little stairs. The small stairs, if you will.
I like little stairs.
Get right is sure to die.
Little stairs for your little booties.
Yes, the little stairs. 45 seconds remaining, and Dennis, he'll do very well to get the bomb down here. Not sure if it's possible. CT's not playing together, but I guess in this scenario that's fine. They can just listen now for the sound cue. The bomb going down, and hold for him to commit. It would take one hell of a shot for him to flush out the CTs waiting on the other side. There he is. That will be Cadian waiting. Low HP, so Dennis can find him somehow. There is a chance. He is checking every angle at this point. Will he check this one? Doesn't look likely, and it will be Cadian taken down. 14-4. That was a force buy. They might have to do it again, chaps, because they can't really go down 15-4.
I like the reaction from the CTs. Something to learn at home. If there's one T left and you're low on numbers and you know where he is, it's always good to just put someone in Palace, for example, because it gives you coverage of almost every place that they can plant the bomb, and you're covered from being taken by surprise from most angles. So it's a nice reaction play. You know where the last guy is. He was spotted top mid. How can I take advantage? What is the best position I can put myself in? So we've got smokes lined up. One is towards the window, that's the one Forrest is throwing. And maybe some towards the pillars as well, over the arches. Valde holding his position by the bench. Trying to play headshot angle, but he will get headshot. Cade now can't see the player through the corner of the smoke. 3 on 3 as North tries to hold on to this.
They might be able to. We'll see bomb planted now for an IP. Here comes Kiabi, who's been looking unbelievably sharp so far. He'll be holding towards shorts, trying to open things up. And, does damage towards the bench. Can't connect with killing blow. Forrest certainly can. I think NIP will live to fight another day as they continue to find damage. Oh my god, maybe not. It looked like it was done, but there might be a chance for a last-second defuse here. AZ's got the kit. Lekra has to play heads-up Counter-Strike here. Down he goes, and that's not going to be enough. They've got enough time for the defuse as well. It was so close for an IP, and it all falls apart as, once again, AZ and Cadian come out on top.
It all falls down.
It does.
Ironically, like when Kanye used to make good music.
He still makes good music.
No, he doesn't.
All
no,
right.
he doesn't. What are you talking about?
There's some good songs and some good tunes.
He lost his damn mind. All his ghostwriters he got. Now he writes about bleaching and things.
That's cool, man.
No, Henry.
Bleaching.
Yeah, I'll explain later, Dan. 15-4, it's match point for North. Forrest creeping through the smoke very, very quickly, and Kiabi has to concede his position. But surprise, Gade is here as well. Plays moving quickly towards the connector position for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Bomb, though, has been left top mid.
This is a quick one to kick it off, by the looks of things. We'll see. Still the man advantage for North. Looking to finish things here, 16-4. It's holding towards the A ramp. Not really much to work with here. One smoke. Galil's. Headshots required. Can they be delivered?
What's bleaching?
Stop asking. Just look up, if you want to search, so Dan's gone to search, just search Kanye Bleach and you'll see the lyrics. Or you can add lyrics as well, and that's enough. All you need to know. Ninjas in Pyjamas moving towards A with 3 players. There are 2 here for North. AZ will spot the first player, not the bomb though. He spotted 1 of 3 players. So it's not cause for a rotation just yet. That's a massive frag from Dennis. Still the only player spotted, which means the rotation will still be late. A second one, and now maybe the game is up. The jig is up. And North will start to respond. Got a rotation. Valde moving towards a short position. He hears the footsteps of Rez. Jumps. That's not going to help him, but Lekra will trade. Where is the last player?
Oh. So he'll go for the default plan now, knowing that the CT is in towards the area. And Valde's not wasting any time, but it will not be a victory just yet. Necro prolongs the inevitable. 10 rounds in a row required. They have broken the money. Good shot by Dennis to keep the dream alive. Going to take one hell of a performance here on the T-side to keep going. We'll see if they can do it. Eco for North. No reason to force fight here. Going to go for an A stack.
It's a long road back for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Lecro with the AWP. He has been a dab hand, but again, I think the main question is, when you've got a sniper like Caden on one side, do you have the answer on your side? Good anti-eco round so far. Caden the last one to drop. Yeah, stylistically, you know, we've seen that Nitro he's capable. He can be the battle sniper, at least on the CT side. But do they have that when they really need it? I think the scoreline, I mean, credit to North. I think the Ninjas in Pyjamas, like if they are to lose, I think some fanboys and girls will be salty, but I don't think it's really about NIP here. North are playing really well, and that's great to see. NIP though, I'm really loving how strong they are in general, so we'll see if they can have a better start at the very least in the second map. But for now, we're still on the first, and North are still on the pistols. Plenty of targets in the mid-area. Forrest taken out on his own. Rez has got to be careful. He knows, look, he's avoiding trade fraggers. Repositioning to continue getting 1 versus 1. Spray transfer not going to work out. The CTs are everywhere. They're swarming. Nice shot from Dennis. But this is getting out of hand. And maybe now it's back under control. Valde waiting for a cross. Positioning for a 1-deek. He's got a tag, but no frag. 1 versus 1, but how does he choose to engage Rez? That's one way to do it. Now he's picked up an AK. Both these players are tagged, but it seems he will hold on to this, or no.
Oh,
maybe go and do some more damage.
Where's he off to? Looking for whatever he can find. Finding the scraps on the floor. The grenades. Indeed. There's a smoke picked up. It's worth $300.
Have some fun with that. Can throw it into the office like we did. Remember that, James? When you're trapped in a room with a smoke grenade?
I do, yeah. I was actually genuinely asking you to open the door at some point as well, and also, because I was just inhaling smoke.
You have asthma too, it's probably good for you. Yeah. It might even be, but you know, cause complications.
Yeah, please
in
open
your
the door
respiratory health.
Filming dangerous videos of Dan, I wouldn't recommend it. Especially if he's in control of anything.
He told me to hold the door, I held the door.
I'll call you Hodor from now on then.
Okay.
We still have smoke grenades. I think I bought like 6, so we have like 5 smoke grenades in a cupboard somewhere.
Well, here?
No, in London.
Oh, damn. Let's go.
He's ready to fight back against that floor polisher upstairs. Smoke him out. Right.
One more round for North. 8 required from NIP. How deep can they get on this map?
Forward position from Valde. All the information for Valde. Rez going down an underpass, as it will likely be an A splits for the NIP lads. They've got Lecro likely, who will take the bomb back as he's the closest player through towards the pit position. Get right. Oh, if he'd gone deeper on that first peak, it would have been really good, but unfortunately Gade is quick, and that's really going to be a struggle now. Less than a minute, still the bomb not collected. Valde's picked off one as well now. This is getting terrible. He's going to find the bomb if he keeps going forwards. Oh dear.
He probably would have spotted it, to be honest. Lecro somehow wins out the duel with a CZ and does find the bomb. He's low HP though. As we hit the 40-second mark, Gade already towards the end of the palace. If he goes a bit further, he'll get so much intel in terms of the sound cues coming through. But Dennis, he is on the A site. North need to be aware that this is not covered. KRB could be in trouble. Forrest will take him down.
Did Gade spot anything? Probably not, otherwise I'm sure Lecro would be smoked. They continue to execute.
Oh
this
no, they
is
hit the
going
smoke
to lead
of each
to their
other.
doom. Well, it might save them, in fact.
Yeah, you're right.
It actually gives them some cover for the bomb to go down. That's
so
hilarious.
Silly.
And with the position of Forest, if Gage shoots first, then now Forest has the information at least. He's in a 1 versus 3, but he realizes what has happened. He has killed a player, though, so he has no idea of where he is. That's the first one done, but the bomb is being held. 10-second defuse. It's behind Triple. It's on the wrong side, and that's how they're going to lose the match. 16-7, North with a big performance versus Ninjas in Pyjamas in our first game of the day.
Indeed, and arguably should have been a bit more of a landslide. It was actually NIP opening things up, but you know what? North just ran away with them completely. The individual duels on the T-side especially was just beautiful to watch, Dan. They seemed like they smothered NIP in almost every facet of the game. And like I said, it wasn't like NIP were doing anything wrong. It just seemed like every shot was perfect for North. Remember, they're all fired up right now. They just got to the playoffs at a big event. They're playing from there right now in a boot camp environment. So obviously going to be feeling it, and you can see their development is pretty impressive considering Cadian's only just joined the squad like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I love the pace and the calls from North in this game, and obviously the individual performance was something that they could fall back onto when, in a few moments, there weren't too many of them, where things were going a little bit sideways, pear-shaped. This moment exactly from Kiebi was one of those, getting a 4K off of the Force. So very impressive to see, and you know, North is a team we all want to see doing very well, and we're all invested, I think, in Cadian's storyline too, and this is his biggest moment of his career now, and he's worked so very hard to achieve it, and he's earned it absolutely.
Well, here are the scores on the doors. Young gun Gade getting it done with 26 frags. Seems to be a fantastic asset for the squad. He's just coming from Optic as well. I mean, he was on loan for the longest time from North Academy. So now he's back in the North squad. 26 kills to his name, seems to be getting better and better. 24 for Cadian. Kiabi, amazing rounds from him. Didn't get the most amount of frag, but the impact he had in some of those was phenomenal. Looking at Get Right's performance for chaps, that is an anomaly of sticking out like a sore thumb. 8 and 18. Didn't seem to really get rolling there at all. It was Forest with 19, Lecro with 16. A decent game to watch. You have to appreciate how good North were there. But NIP seemed to be missing a certain je ne sais quoi. Yes, didn't seem to turn up.
Well, there's one more map for them to do that.
Okay, no more
to pick up some points. Yeah, I think you put it very well.
All right,
so
perfect.
What more is it to say, Henry?
I should have wrote down the maps again. I can't remember. I said I wouldn't do this once more. This is the last day. I won't know the maps. What's the map next? Nuke is coming up next, an NIP Classic, a special, and definitely could bounce back in the second. We will find out after this break. We love you all. Please come back.